Peace and Black Power, family. Peace and Black Power. This is the Prince of Pan-Africanism, Dr. Umar Johnson. I just got off my Fox Soul interview. We were talking about the images of Black women and the oppression and exploitation that Black women face. That's why I'm still up at 1 in the morning. But what I want to do right now, I'm only going to be on here maybe 15, 20 minutes, is I want to give you guys an opportunity to ask me some questions. Any kind of question you may have for Dr. Umar. Yes, you can ask questions about the school. I have no problem with that. I just hope that they're intelligent questions, not questions you can answer yourself. So with that being said, go ahead and tap in, brothers and sisters. Okay, we got Chef Kobe coming up. Chef Kobe coming up. Where the chef at? I can't see you, brother. If I can't see you, I can't talk to you. I need a face.
Yep. 1 second, brother. My
I
bad.
see you, black man. How we doing, Chef?
I'm good. How are you, Dr. Umar?
Okay, where you at in the world? Where you at in the world?
I'm in Kansas City, Missouri.
Kansas City, Missouri. All right.
Yes,
What's on your
sir.
mind today, brother? Any question you got?
Well, I recently just joined the Loyal Donors Club, and
I
I'm
appreciate that,
sad.
brother.
Yeah,
I
for sure. I'm sad to hear the lack of support, honestly, that you've had with the whole entire ordeal. The thing that's really been like, I became a big supporter of you over the past like 6-8 months. Like,
appreciate
I
that.
think the things that you speak are really in tune with what I believe in, and I think like whenever you go on these podcasts and stuff, and you're just walking like 1-2 million views, and it's sad to see the lack of support from these people that bring you onto their shows, and it seems like they're exploiting you to gain traction in their show, yet they're not reciprocating the energy for your school
I
and
totally
for
agree.
everything else you're doing.
Brother, you are bringing up a major point. Let me say this to you. I always assumed that when people invited me on their radio shows, I always assumed all these years that they were supporters or donors. So if someone says, hey, can you come on my radio show? Can you do my podcast? I would have assumed that they made a donation to FDMG because you're asking me to support you.
Right.
I'm going to bring you 1 million views. I would assume you threw $50, $100, $25.
Right.
And I'm telling you, brother, when I started asking people, have you donated to FDMG? Most of the radio personalities have said no.
Wow.
I was invited on a Chicago gospel station, I think it was. And I told the brother, I said, I will come, but y'all will have to make a $100 donation to FDMG. He responded and said, we cannot afford to make a donation at this time.
Wow.
Can we do it another time? I beg your pardon? You want me on your radio station, but you can't donate to my project? And I'm telling you, brother, I have seen this over and over, and this is new for me. I just started asking people to donate in exchange for interview because I didn't know how many people had the audacity to ask me for an interview and had no interest whatsoever in donating to the school, brother. So this whole experience has been a learning process for me because I didn't know somebody could want to use you.
Right.
I didn't know somebody could want to use you and not even support something that is so dear, not for you, but for the Black community as a whole. I mean, 1 out of every 4 Black boys is getting a high school diploma. 75% of our boys will not get a diploma. And you and I, being Black men, knows what that means.
Right.
That means they're going to be on the street corner, selling that stuff, stealing them cars, hustling them credit cards. We have a 75% dropout non-diploma rate. If only 25% of white boys graduated high school, school would stop until the system was fixed. That would be a crisis.
For
And
sure.
so, as you said, I'm trying to get this done. And I'm going to be honest with you, Black man. For a lot of these people, it's not that they believe I'm stealing or hustling, brother. They know I'm not. They don't want to see this come to fruition for personal jealousy reasons and
Yeah.
reasons of envy. That's all this is about. Because if you really believed I was hustling, why are you sabotaging
Facts.
everything I do to open up the school? If it is a hustle and a lie, why you calling the governor? If it's a hustle and a lie, why you calling license and inspections? If it's a hustle and a lie, why you calling the Pennsylvania State Board, the Attorney General? Brother, I'm getting phone calls from white folks every week telling me that my own people, and it's embarrassing. It's embarrassing because even the white folks don't understand it. They say you're like the main fighter of everybody we see. You're the most unapologetic. And we're not getting phone calls from white people. Your people, black people, are calling us, telling us that we should shut you down. So it's embarrassing
It is
that,
embarrassing.
and I'll say this to you as well. A lot of my so-called supporters are guilty because when you go over to YouTube and you watch these jealous, envious people make these videos, guess who's watching the videos? Dr. Umar supporters. So people who claim to be for me are fueling the hate by watching every single video. And here's the thing. I haven't been criticized yet by somebody with my credentials. I haven't been criticized yet by somebody with my accomplishments. I haven't been criticized yet by someone who's doing something themselves for the black community. Isn't it ironic that every detractor I have claims to care so much about black people? They claim to be sabotaging me for black people, but they're not doing anything for black people themselves. How can you say we're trying to sabotage this man who's doing something positive for
And they're
black
not doing
people
nothing.
and they're doing nothing at all?
Mhm.
Go ahead, brother.
I mean, and it's sick. Like, honestly, I didn't even know you had the hate like that until I hear you talking about it on your Instagram live, for real, because like even on Twitter and stuff like that, like a lot of people love you. Like, they show you a lot of love, and obviously they got some funny things here and there, but whatever. Um, but then whenever you look at like a lot of the things you say, talking about in order for the black community to progress, you really got to invest from the black community. And you talk about the black community investing 20%. If everybody invested at 20%, then ultimately all these things that we preach to the government that we want them to do for us would actually happen. And like you talk about grit money, you talk about Jordans, you talk about Christmas shopping, all this other nonsense that everybody just spends their money on. We're not protecting our economic value as black people, and it's really it really hinders us from. We haven't really done any, like, we haven't really progressed as a community at all. And I mean, there could be so many different things behind that, because like you think of the history of our people in this country, it's like a mixture of American individualism and then African community. So it's
Mm-hmm.
like mixing those two things has made each and every black person so individually different, where it's so hard to grasp on, can we actually progress as a community? I mean, you talk to these millionaires who are having you on their show, and the fact that, like, that's just sickening to me, knowing like the education that you want to implement into our community is like revolutionary. And it's sickening that you can't get like a couple $100,000 to get HVAC done. Like, that is insane. That's insane.
And let me say this too, brother. One of the most mind-blowing things about the anti-Dr. Umar propaganda, and I do want to put it in perspective, because I do have way more supporters than haters. In fact, I think one of the reasons I have so many haters is because I get so much love. You know, like, people will say, well, you got a lot of haters. That's true. But look at how many supporters I have, you see. And so
Right.
the hate is a direct, because the hate is aimed at doing what? Not only trying to destroy my life, but trying to sway people against me. So it's a campaign that's not going to work, because most people are too intelligent. They can see through the lies of the detractors. But I tell you what I find interesting. Some of the conclusions that they draw. So, for example, there's a criminal record going around. Allegedly, I've sold drugs. I got arrested for. I got a. I was a big time drug dealer. I went to jail for 2 years for crack. And I'm saying to
Wow.
myself, where is the common sense? I'm a certified school psychologist. What state do you know is going to give you a certification to practice school psychology with a felony on your record? Certainly not Pennsylvania.
No.
Certainly not Pennsylvania. And then I heard some other coons say, he's lying. HVAC don't cost $250,000. You could go online and the HVAC unit is $80,000. Well, guess what? That's true. The HVAC unit is $80,000. But when you have a gym and a school, 80 times 80 is 160. And then you have to pay for all the work and systems that have to be put in with labor in the school for the gym and the school. It easily goes up to 250,000, and the lowest estimate is 250. And I've gotten the estimates from black and white HVAC technicians. But what blows my mind is how people who don't have no experience in contracting, they're not electricians, they're not HVAC, they're not plumbers, they're not educated. They know everything about running a school, building a school, fixing a school. They're tax experts, they're IRS experts. But if you had all this expertise, why are you not doing something for black people? If I could make one thing happen, just you say, well, what's one thing you would do? If you haven't built anything for black people, you would not be allowed to talk about me at all. You follow what I'm saying?
Yeah, I hear you.
If you have not yourself built an institution for black folks, you cannot criticize somebody who is. That's the only law. And then they say stupid stuff like on the interview I was on, right?
Mm-hmm.
It's been 6 years. Where's the school?
Yeah.
But you just admitted out your own mouth that your godfather had his children in trailers for 17 years. In trailers for 17 years. I'm not knocking that. I have no problem. But how can you ask me why we don't have a school after 6 years? When you just admitted the person you want me to talk to, who took a bank loan and grants from white people, the person you want me to talk to who took a bank loan and grants from white people and had the kids in trailers for 17 years, you want me to go to him for advice when he's not done what I'm trying to do. It doesn't make sense. If he had the kids in trailers for 17 years, why are you complaining about 6 years? Why are you asking about the leftover money where we done already said we can afford the electricity, we can afford the sprinkler alarm, we can afford the fire alarm, we can afford the carpentry, we can likely afford the plumbing. The only thing we can afford is the HVAC. So what are you asking about the leftover money if I just told you we're using it to pay for all of the contract work except HVAC? They ask the same, and I'm saying to myself, can't they answer this themselves? Can't you answer this question? Listen, I was audited by the state of Pennsylvania. They audited me. The Auditor General of PA, they audited me. I had to send them all the bank statements, all the donations. I passed it with flying colors. I passed the white man's audit with flying colors. And they talking about I'm still stealing money. Go ahead, bro.
Hey, like the thing with the school and everything, like they talk about 6 years, 10 years. I don't know how far back it roots, but like,
let me say this. I'm glad you said that. I'm glad you said that.
Yeah, for sure.
Our first donation, number one, St. Louis, Missouri, spring of 2014. Let me tell you what I heard one of these coons say. Let me tell you that. The coon said that if you go through Dr. Umar's Twitter feed, you will find that he said he was going to open up a school back in 2010. Can I ask you a question? Is there anything wrong with me letting the world know that one day I'm going to open a school? Is there anything wrong with
that's a goal.
On social network that I want to have my school? have
That's
never
crazy.
collected no money
That's
until 20.
crazy.
So they're telling me because I said I wanted a school, I'm automatically was taking money back then. So then I say, find me a donor. Find me someone who
Mhm.
gave Dr. Umar a penny before spring of 2014. That's all you got to do. I'd have been all over the world. You can't find one person who will say I gave him a donation before spring of 2014. A lot of this stuff is so easy to prove and disprove that is laughable. Go right ahead, brother.
That is actually insane. Like even dating back to like 6 years though, because people get on to you all the time of where's the school, where's the school, where's the school. But like I think, in my opinion, I study Black history at the University of Kansas, so I think one of the biggest um, biggest hurdles in the Black community would be education in the youth, which ultimately is the root to wealth and power. I think it's education. Um, and the fact that you have this revolutionary idea and you're trying, like, I don't think people understand how much this will change our community, because whenever you establish this school, like that's going to gain traction no matter what, and
Automatic.
it's going to go all the way around our country, and then that is really going to make generational change in our community. And the fact that you don't have a perfectly run school that's built and ready to go in 6 years, like be patient, like be
Be
patient,
patient.
like it's happening. Like it don't have to happen tomorrow. So I'm just like, I'm glad that I started looking into you. I'm glad that I started donating to you. Definitely going to keep on doing that until I get into that platinum club. Um, and then go from there, because I trust the vision. I trust in you, like your credentials. So I think that you have a really amazing idea, ideologies for our community, and moving forward in it.
I appreciate that, brother. And I'll share this with you before I let you go.
Hmm.
I received a voicemail today from a major producer in the hip hop industry. He used to be really, really big. Not as big right now, but still very respected, right?
Hmm.
He's produced, if you were to name the top 5 rappers of all time, he's produced for almost every one. So he's saying he's going to put the word out to some of them big names
Okay.
who I'm sure already know who I am anyway.
Yeah.
And he's going to say, listen, y'all got to help Dr. Umar out. It's a tax exempt school. Y'all can write it off. So I'm just giving that to you, bro. I don't put a lot of faith in it
Yeah.
because I come across celebrities all the time and I haven't got a single celebrity donation yet. Right. But this brother right here, I can tell he's a supporter because he reached out to me. I didn't bump into him. He said, hey, we need to be helping you. I'm going to talk to some folks. He threw out a name, said, I just sent your information to him right now. Right. And he said, I'm going to get back in contact with me. So hopefully somebody throw me something.
Hmm.
You know what I mean? But even if they don't, bro, we still going to win. Because I tell everybody this. The Marcus Garvey movement was built with poor Black money, not rich Black money.
Right.
The Black Panthers was bought with poor Black money, not rich Black money. Every major movement we had was built with everyday Black pennies, not rich dollars. So I don't believe I need a celebrity
Okay.
backer to get this done. I believe it'll get done quicker
Right.
with
Right.
a celebrity backer. But we going to cross the finish line anyway. Question is, do we have to wait another 2 years? That's the only question. We're going to cross the finish line. Can
Right.
we cross it this new year, or do we have to wait to 2022? That's my only concern.
Hmm. Which honestly is a good concern to have. It's not a bad
Yeah,
concern, honestly. Really
yeah.
not.
Appreciate you, Black man.
And I
Stay in touch.
appreciate you, Dr.
I'll be
Umar.
coming to KC soon as well, so stay in
Sure.
the
I'll get the
loop.
people out there. Yeah, for
Yes,
sure.
sir. All
All
right,
right.
brother.
Peace, Black
Be
man.
safe now.
Hmm.
Always good to hear one of my supporters. Tap in, tap in. Hit your Cash App, $ FDMG School. Hit your PayPal, paypal.me/FDMG Academy. Hit your Cash App, $FDMG School. Hit your PayPal, paypal.me/FDMG Academy. Sisters, the For Sisters Only podcast will begin on Saturday, October the 31st for all black, for all black women, for all my sisters out there. If you want to sign up for the For Sisters Only podcast, go to my Twitter, Facebook, or Instagram, and you will see the link. Or you could text me for the For Sisters Only podcast, 215-989-9858, 215-989-9858. First episode drops October 31st on the new moon in Taurus. And the first episode for the For Sisters Only podcast is called Sex is Not a Cure for Depression and Loneliness. Sex is not a cure for depression and loneliness. Okay, if you want the regular podcast, text me for the regular podcast link. I got some new episodes about to drop. Plus, you get all 18 of the current episodes. And if you want to sign up for the Loyal Donors Club, go to drumarjohnson.com. Become a loyal donor of the FDMG Academy. Help us raise this money to pay off this HVAC. Let's get this school open. Go to drumarjohnson.com. $50 a month for Bronze Club, $100 a month for Silver Club, $250 a month for the Gold Club, $500 a month for the Platinum Club, and $1,000 a month for the Diamond Club. I'm looking for a new place to hold my book signing in Harlem. Okay, somebody hated on me and the book signing was canceled at the original location. So we need a new place in New York City. It doesn't have to be Harlem. I would like it to be Harlem. It doesn't have to be Harlem. I would like it to be Harlem, brothers and sisters. So for my New York City people, if you know of a spot where we can hold the book signing on Friday, October 30th, please get in contact with me.